There is a peculiar myth that has infected modern thinking. It tells us that perseverance is always virtuous, that staying is always noble, that loyalty, no matter the cost, is the highest form of strength. We are told to fight for every relationship, to weather every storm, to never give up on people, places, or pursuits. This sounds beautiful. It sounds heroic. But it is a trap designed to keep you chained to sinking ships while calling it honor. Machiavelli understood something that most people spend their entire lives refusing to accept. Sometimes the most strategic move is not to advance but to retreat, not to speak, but to vanish, not to fight, but to disappear entirely. The ability to walk away at precisely the right moment is not weakness. It is the mark of someone who values their power more than their pride. It is the signature of a mind that refuses to be held hostage by sentiment. Today we are going to dismantle a dangerous illusion, the illusion that walking away makes you a quitter, the illusion that leaving means you have failed. In truth, the person who cannot walk away is not loyal. They are simply afraid. They are trapped by the opinions of others, by their own ego, or by a misguided belief that endurance alone equals strength. But endurance without strategy is just suffering with better marketing. I want you to imagine your life as a chessboard. Every person, every environment, every commitment is a piece on that board. Some pieces advance your position, others do nothing, and some, the most dangerous ones, actively work against you while pretending to be on your side. The amateur player clings to every piece. The master knows when to sacrifice. The sovereign knows when to leave the board entirely. Machiavelli spent years in exile, stripped of his position, his wealth, and his influence. But in that forced withdrawal, he wrote The Prince. He understood that sometimes you must lose the battle to study the war. He knew that walking away is not surrender. It is reconnaissance. It is preservation. It is the refusal to waste your finite energy on infinite nonsense. Let us be clear about what we are discussing here. This is not about running from difficulty. This is not about avoiding hard work or abandoning responsibility at the first sign of discomfort. This is about recognizing when a situation has become a slow-acting poison, when a relationship has turned parasitic, when an environment is designed to keep you small, when your presence is being weaponized against you. The world is full of people and systems that benefit from your confusion. They profit when you stay longer than you should. They thrive on your misplaced loyalty. They feed on your reluctance to disappoint others. And they will drain you completely, then call you weak for having nothing left to give. Walking away from these traps is not cruelty, it is clarity. So here is what we are going to do. We are going to examine 7 specific situations where walking away is not just advisable, it is essential. These are the scenarios where your departure is the only intelligent move, where staying is not strength, it is self-destruction, and where your refusal to leave is not loyalty, it is cowardice dressed up as virtue. If you have ever felt guilty for wanting to leave, if you have ever stayed somewhere that hollowed you out because you feared what others would think, if you have ever confused endurance with dignity, then what follows is not just philosophy. It is permission. Permission to value your own life enough to remove it from situations that do not serve it. Let us begin. The first situation you must exit immediately is any environment where your growth is punished. You will know this place when you see it. It is the workplace where asking questions is seen as insubordination. It is the social circle where self-improvement is mocked as arrogance. It is the family dynamic where your success makes others uncomfortable, so they subtly, or not so subtly, work to undermine it. Machiavelli observed that the greatest threat to a prince was not external enemies, but the internal court that feared his rising power. The same is true for you. There are people in your life right now who need you to stay exactly where you are. Not because they love you, but because your stagnation makes them feel safe. Your mediocrity reassures them that their own lack of ambition is acceptable. When you begin to grow, when you start reading more, earning more, thinking differently, these people will not celebrate you. They will pathologize you. They will call you obsessed. They will say you have changed, and they will say it like an accusation. What they mean is that you are no longer controllable. You are no longer predictable. And that terrifies them. In such environments, you face a choice. You can shrink yourself back down to fit their expectations, or you can leave. There is no third option. You cannot negotiate with people who are invested in your smallness. You cannot reason with a system designed to keep you in your place. Staying in these environments is not patience. It is self-betrayal. Walk away. Do not announce it. Do not justify it. Do not seek their approval for your departure. Simply withdraw your energy, your presence, and your potential from any space that treats your growth as a threat. Let them wonder where you went. Let them realize too late what they lost. Your absence will teach them what your presence could not. The second situation demanding your immediate exit is any relationship where you are always the one adjusting. You know this dynamic well. You are the one who always apologizes first, even when you were not wrong. You are the one who always makes time while they are always busy. You are the one who remembers birthdays, plans meetings, sends the first message. You are carrying the entire relationship on your back, and the other person has convinced you that this is what caring looks like. Machiavelli warned that a prince must never appear desperate for alliance, because desperation invites exploitation. The same principle applies to personal relationships. When you are the only one investing, you are not in a relationship. You are in a one-person performance of a relationship, and the audience does not even have the decency to applaud. This is not about keeping score. This is about recognizing patterns. If someone consistently shows you through their actions that you are not a priority, believe them. Do not listen to their words. Do not cling to the occasional breadcrumb of attention they throw your way to keep you hooked. Watch their behavior over time. If the pattern is one of neglect, indifference, or one-sided effort, you are not valued. You are tolerated. And here's the part that will sting. Often, the moment you stop reaching out is the moment you discover the relationship was only alive because you were performing CPR on it. The calls stop coming, the texts go silent, and you realize with painful clarity that you were never missed because you were never truly seen. Walk away. Not with anger, not with a dramatic confrontation, but with quiet dignity. Stop initiating. Stop adjusting. Stop convincing yourself that if you just try a little harder, they will finally meet you halfway. They will not. And your continued effort is not proof of your loyalty. It is proof that you have not yet learned to value your own time. The third situation is any space where your boundaries are treated as suggestions. Boundaries are not requests. They are not negotiable terms. They are the invisible walls that protect your energy, your time, and your sanity. When you set a boundary, you are not asking for permission. You are informing someone of a limit. And when that boundary is repeatedly violated, tested, or dismissed, you are being shown that your needs do not matter to that person. Machiavelli understood that respect is not given, it is commanded. And it is commanded not through aggression, but through consistency. If you set a boundary and then allow it to be crossed without consequence, you have not set a boundary. You have made a suggestion, and suggestions are ignored by those who do not respect you. This happens everywhere. The friend who always shows up late because they know you will wait. The colleague who dumps their work on you because they know you will not say no. The family member who bulldozes your decisions because they have learned that if they push hard enough, you will fold. Each violation is a test, and every time you allow it, you are teaching them that your boundaries are performative. You might think that enforcing boundaries makes you difficult. You might worry that people will call you cold, rigid, or unforgiving. Let them. The people who are upset by your boundaries are the ones who are benefiting from you having none. Their discomfort is not your responsibility. Your peace is. Walk away from anyone who treats your no as a maybe. From anyone who hears your limits and sees them as challenges to overcome. From anyone who makes you feel guilty for having needs. These people do not respect you. They use you. And the longer you stay, the more you teach them that using you is acceptable. The fourth situation you must exit is any endeavor where the cost has begun to exceed the return. This requires brutal honesty. We live in a culture that romanticizes struggle. We are told that if something is hard, it must be worth it. That if we are suffering, we must be building character. This is nonsense. Not all struggle is noble. Not all pain is productive. Some things are hard because they are poorly designed. Some things hurt because they are actively harming you. Machiavelli was a pragmatist. He measured everything by results. If a strategy was not working, he did not double down on it out of stubbornness. He changed course. He understood that clinging to a failing plan is not determination, it is delusion. And yet, most people will stay in jobs that destroy their health, relationships that erode their self-worth, and projects that consume their time without producing results, simply because they have already invested so much. This is called the sunk cost fallacy. The belief that because you have already spent time, money, or energy on something, you must continue even when all evidence suggests you should stop. It is the reason people stay in dead-end careers for decades. It is why they remain in loveless marriages. It is why they finish books they hate and pursue degrees they no longer want. They are not moving forward. They are honoring a past decision that no longer serves them. You must become ruthless in your evaluation. Ask yourself, if I was starting from zero today, knowing what I know now, would I choose this? If the answer is no, then the only reason you are staying is pride. And pride is an expensive indulgence when it costs you your future. Walk away, cut your losses. Do not throw good years after bad ones. The time you have already spent is gone. You cannot get it back, but you can stop the bleeding. You can refuse to sacrifice another year, another month, another day on something that is not taking you where you want to go. The market does not reward loyalty to bad investments. Neither should you. The fifth situation is any circle where gossip is the currency. You will recognize this environment immediately. It is the group where conversations are not about ideas, but about people, where the primary bonding activity is tearing down those who are not in the room, where trust is a joke, because everyone knows that the moment you leave, you will become the topic. Machiavelli warned that courts filled with gossip were courts on the edge of collapse. Why? Because gossip is a symptom of a deeper disease. It reveals that the people in that environment have nothing of substance to discuss. They have no vision, no mission, no shared purpose. So they fill the void with speculation, judgment, and the petty dissection of others. When you participate in gossip, even passively, you are making a deal. You are trading temporary inclusion for long-term vulnerability. Because if they gossip to you, they gossip about you. If they betray others in your presence, they will betray you in theirs. There is no exception. There is no special bond that protects you. You are simply waiting your turn. These environments are toxic not because they are loud, but because they are cowardly. Gossip is the weapon of those too weak to confront directly. It is how powerless people feel, powerful. And the more time you spend in these circles, the more you will find yourself adopting their tactics. You will start to speak in whispers. You will start to hoard information. You will start to see threats everywhere, because in a culture of gossip, threats are everywhere. Walk away. Do not try to reform the group. Do not try to be the one person who does not participate. Your silence will be interpreted as judgment, and judgment will make you a target. Simply extract yourself. Find environments where people talk about ideas, projects, and futures, where the energy is directed outward, not inward, where people are too busy building to bother tearing down. The sixth situation is any dynamic where you are expected to be smaller so that someone else can feel bigger. This is one of the most insidious traps because it often comes disguised as love. It is the partner who needs you to fail so they do not feel inadequate. It is the parent who diminishes your achievements because they never accomplished their own. It is the friend who only calls when they need support, but is conveniently unavailable when you need the same. Machiavelli understood that power is often a zero-sum game in the minds of the insecure. They believe that your rise necessitates their fall, so they will do everything in their power to keep you at their level. Not through direct sabotage, though sometimes that too, but through subtle emotional manipulation. They will call you selfish for prioritizing your goals. They will accuse you of changing. They will remind you of every past failure to keep you tethered to an old identity. This is not love. This is control. Love does not require you to dim your light. Love does not feel threatened by your growth. Love celebrates your expansion, even when it creates distance. If someone needs you to stay broken so they can feel whole, they do not love you. They need you. And need disguised as love is one of the most dangerous forms of bondage. You will know you are in this dynamic when your good news is met with silence or subtle criticism, when your ambitions are treated as fantasies, when your confidence is labeled as arrogance, when you feel the need to downplay your success just to keep the peace. Every time you shrink yourself to fit their comfort zone, you are betraying your potential. You are choosing their approval over your evolution. Walk away. You do not owe anyone your smallness. You do not owe anyone stagnation in the name of loyalty. If they cannot celebrate you, they do not deserve access to you. Surround yourself with people who are not intimidated by your growth, but inspired by it. People who see your success as proof of what is possible, not as a threat to their ego. The seventh and final situation you must exit immediately is any environment where your intuition is screaming at you to leave, but you keep rationalizing reasons to stay. This is perhaps the most dangerous of all, because the trap is not external. It is internal. Your gut knows. Your instincts are flashing red. Every fiber of your being is telling you that something is wrong. But your mind, oh your clever, convincing mind, keeps building arguments for why you should ignore it. Machiavelli trusted his instincts above all else. He believed that a prince must develop the ability to sense danger before it fully materializes. This is not mysticism. This is pattern recognition. Your subconscious mind processes far more information than your conscious mind ever could. It picks up on micro-expressions, tonal shifts, behavioral inconsistencies. And when it detects a threat, it sends you a signal. That signal is your intuition. But we have been trained to distrust it. We have been taught to be logical, to give people the benefit of the doubt, to not judge too quickly. And so we override our instincts. We tell ourselves we are being paranoid. We convince ourselves that we are overreacting. We stay in situations that feel wrong because we cannot articulate exactly why they are wrong. And by the time we can articulate it, the damage is done. Your intuition does not owe you an explanation. It does not need to provide evidence. It is not on trial. When your gut tells you to leave, that is not the beginning of a negotiation. That is the end of the discussion. You do not need to know why. You do not need to wait until something objectively bad happens to justify your exit. The feeling itself is enough. Walk away. Even if you cannot explain it, even if it does not make sense to others, even if you look foolish in hindsight, better to leave a safe situation and be wrong than to stay in a dangerous one and be right. Your intuition has kept your ancestors alive for thousands of generations. It has navigated threats that reason could not detect. Trust it. Now, let us address the elephant in the room. Everything I have just described will make you uncomfortable, because walking away goes against everything you have been taught. You have been conditioned to see leaving as failure, to see boundaries as selfishness, to see self-preservation as cowardice. And so, even as you recognize yourself in these 7 situations, even as you feel the truth of what I am saying, you will be tempted to stay. You will tell yourself it is not that bad. You will focus on the good moments and use them to justify enduring the bad ones. You will worry about what people will think. You will fear being alone. You will convince yourself that you are being dramatic, that you should be more patient, that you should try harder. This is not wisdom, this is fear wearing the mask of virtue. Machiavelli taught that the prince must be willing to act against his own conditioning when circumstances demand, that he must be able to do what is necessary, not what is comfortable. The same applies to you. Walking away will feel wrong at first. It will feel like betrayal. It will feel like weakness. But feelings are not facts, and discomfort is not evidence of error. Here is what will actually happen when you walk away from these 7 situations. Initially, there will be backlash. The people you leave will not understand. They will be angry. They will call you selfish, disloyal, cold. They will try to guilt you into returning. This is not because they miss you. It is because your departure has disrupted the system that benefited them. You were playing a role, and now that role is vacant. Their discomfort is not your problem. After the backlash comes the silence. And in that silence, something extraordinary happens. You begin to hear yourself again. The constant noise of other people's needs, opinions, and expectations fades. And in that space, you remember who you are beneath all the roles you have been playing. You remember what you actually want. You remember what you are actually capable of. This is the gift of walking away. Not the destination, but the clarity that comes from removing yourself from confusion. And then, slowly, you will notice that your life begins to reorganize itself around your true priorities. The energy you were pouring into dead ends is now available for real opportunities. The time you were spending managing other people's emotions is now yours to invest in your own growth. The mental space that was occupied by resentment and frustration is now open for creativity and strategy. Walking away is not the end of something. It is the beginning of your ability to choose. For the first time, perhaps in years, you are not reacting, you are not accommodating, you are not enduring. You are deciding, and decision is the birthplace of power. Machiavelli spent his life studying power, not because he was cruel, but because he understood that power is the ability to shape your own reality. And you cannot shape your reality if you are trapped in situations that shape you. Every day you stay where you do not belong, you are handing your power to someone else. Every moment you tolerate what diminishes you, you are voting for a smaller life. So I will ask you directly, what are you staying for? Is it love or is it fear? Is it loyalty or is it the inability to tolerate the discomfort of change? Is it hope that things will improve? Or is it the terror of admitting that you have already wasted time? You do not need anyone's permission to leave. You do not need a dramatic reason. You do not need to wait until things get worse. You do not need to be able to explain yourself to people who would not understand anyway. You simply need to decide that your life is worth more than the role you have been assigned in someone else's story. Walking away is not giving up. It is waking up. It is the refusal to participate in your own diminishment. It is the understanding that not every battle is worth fighting, and not every connection is worth maintaining. It is the recognition that your time, your energy, and your presence are finite resources, and you have been spending them like they are infinite. Machiavelli would tell you that the prince who cannot walk away from a losing war will lose his entire kingdom trying to win a single battle. Do not be that prince. Do not sacrifice your future for the sake of a past decision. Do not confuse endurance with strength. Do not let guilt, fear, or the opinions of others keep you chained to what is killing you. The art of walking away is not taught. It is learned through pain, through staying too long and paying the price, through watching others do the same, through finally reaching the point where the cost of leaving is less than the cost of staying. But you do not have to learn it the hard way. You can choose to learn it right now. Look at your life. Identify the 7 situations. You know what they are. You have known for a while. And then, with the cold precision of a strategist, begin your exit. Not with drama, not with explanation, not with the hope that your leaving will change them, but with the certainty that your leaving will change you. Walk away from what does not serve you. Walk away from who does not see you. Walk away from where you are not growing. Walk away from the noise, the toxicity, the mediocrity. Walk away from the need to be understood by people who have no interest in understanding. Walk away from the version of yourself that believed staying was noble, and walk toward the life that is waiting for you on the other side of that door, the one you have been too afraid to open, the one that requires you to trust yourself more than you trust their opinion of you. The one where you are not performing, not pretending, not shrinking. The one where you are sovereign. This is not philosophy. This is survival. This is strategy. This is the choice between spending your life as a hostage or spending it as a king. Machiavelli knew which one he would choose. Now you must decide which one you will choose. The door is open. Walk,